Welcome to your Bio 113 class. I wanted to give you a very quick overview of how to get through the class, how to get in, what to do, what to definitely not to do. So I'll actually jump out of here for a second. Oh, it's not going to work. Yeah, it is. So your course is going to look something like this, and some of you are going to be very tempted to do assignments just straight from the activity stream. Let me just tell you before I tell you anything else that is a bad idea. The activity stream is notoriously unreliable. If it tells you you're late on something, it's mostly lying. Um, the other thing about the activity stream is it shortcuts your learning. So it allows you to arrive at assignments without actually having done the work that allows you to actually complete the assignment. So don't do that. Go into class by going courses and then the course that's yours, right? And the one I'm doing this thing on is this one. So you're going to come in here and it's going to look something like this. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to start here. When you click on start here, you're going to see the syllabus. Most of your questions will be answered in the syllabus. You click, so just in terms of maneuvering Blackboard, um, this is a folder. Actually, it's a learning module, so learning modules you can open up, and then there are different things inside of there. If you start on one of them, there's usually arrows that take you to the next one. Syllabus is linked here. Um, I am linking all of the things not directly in Blackboard, but for ease of access, so you don't have to download everything. Um, you can just access it straight from here. So here's your syllabus, and it tells you all the things you need to know about accommodations, the grading scale. Um, you're going to have question sets, which are basically going to be the answers to the lab handout, labs to simulations, which are online labs, quizzes, which quiz you on your knowledge of what I've told you in the lecture, and then two exams, a midterm and a final. And then here's the schedule, what we're going to do, in which order. Everything is going to be online, so there's no face to face at all. And you may, however, find yourself outside, weather permitting, if you choose to do so. Okay, that's that one. Let's get back to here. So this gives you the course overview. The next page introduces you to me, tells you about how you can get a hold of me, office hours, how to make an appointment, and then we get to the first sets of assignments. So the syllabus agreement is going to be your first assignment. You click on it to view the assessment. The agreement itself can be found in the folder here, which is the same folder as you were before, and then you type in here what you need. You click submit when you're done with the submission. I'm going to do this real quick just to see. I don't know if it'll let me submit it. Usually you'll have 3 attempts. The highest attempt will count. Every time you submit something, you'll get a submission receipt. Save that in case there's something the matter. We can go chasing for you can go chase after your submission using that submission receipt number. Um, Next assignment is then over here. That's going to be your syllabus quiz. Same idea. You view the assessment. You answer the quiz questions. You save it. So you save it, and again, you have 3 attempts. So you have to submit it, right? Saving it doesn't submit it. Then this gives you a couple of different academic resources. I'm not going to click through all of those, but I'll just show you the different academic resources, how to withdraw accommodation, how to download the academic calendar, technology resources. Those are just useful things. And then the next item takes you to the meat of the first assignment, the first week's assignment. Now, I want to point out to you that each week there will be a folder that shows up, and each folder is going to be structured sort of the same way. There's always going to be an overview, then there's going to be a to know, to see, to do. So, first, this is what you need to know to do the assignments, this is what you need to see to do the assignments, and this is what you need to do. And then there's usually a folder, and the assignments are in this folder. Usually there are optional, sometimes, not always, there are optional materials after that. Now, once you click into the overview, the items within themselves are also structured very similarly. There's always we start with the concept, general principles, why it matters, why would you care. Then this is the kinds of things that you're going to be asked to do. And then we get into the module activities. There's usually a walkthrough where I take you through the different things that you do in each activity. Then there's a list of the activities, a meme to make you think about things, and then that takes you to the background information, what it is you need to know. You don't need a textbook for any of this. All the information you need is in the lab handouts. The lab handouts are found here. If you click on that, it takes you to the lab handout folder. In the lab handout folder, you have what I want to point out to you is the lab handouts themselves. They contain all the background information you need. In many cases, they also contain the question sets. Let me just open this one up. Probably should have opened it up so this tells you all about the termites. And then if you go down, it takes you all the way down to a place where you then have the question set, where these are the questions that are posed as part of your assignment. These question sets are found as separate items to these are just the question sets. So this is the lab handout that contains the background information, including the question sets. These are just the question sets. I'll show you in a second the lecture materials. The PowerPoints they contain that lecture material. And then every once in a while, you'll have, like in this case, where you have a syllabus agreement, there are materials that you need for the assignments. Those are also in that folder. So here's how you got to that, right? So you got to the lab handouts through this. Here's the lecture, and the PowerPoint can be found in the same folder. There's 2 parts to the lecture. The first part is that's just the background information. The second part of the lecture is in the demonstration part. The demo part talks more about the lab part. So these are the things that you need to do. So if you're confused about the background information, go look at the lecture, the background lecture. If you're confused about what to do in the lab, look at the lab demonstration lecture. Again, PowerPoint, if it exists, is in the same folder as before. There is a resource page that I'm going to make use of, and in this particular case, we actually utilize it. The assignments we do today rely on you making observations, and these observations are when we're in the lab, we have you draw with a pen on a piece of paper, and then you put a termite on it, and you see if the termites follows the pen. Obviously, we can't do this at home. But what we're going to do instead is I'm going to have you watch these videos, and then you're going to make decisions based on these videos that you're watching. Um, and the details of all of that, how all of that works, is going to be in the walkthrough that goes with the assignment, right? So this is just a more, slightly bigger overview. But then here comes assignment materials. Again, these are the links to find the materials, and then here is where you get to, again, what it is you're supposed to be doing. Um, and then you get to the lecture quiz, which is the first assignment. Then the handout question sets, which is the answers to the things in the lab handout. And in this particular case, um, you then also have a Labster activity. Click on the Labster activity, and somehow, depending on what it looks like for you, you can launch Labster. Labster should launch by itself. It's included into your course fee, and so when you get to it, you then go in there and play this thing, and this looks a little different from the last time when I did this. And then you click start. Now I'm gonna turn the. I don't know if you can hear those, but I will turn this off. Now, as far as Labster is concerned, it's relatively easy to use. You have this this book here that you can summon. If you click on here, and you can have it come up every time you click on it. It tells you to do stuff, then you read and you say continue. Um, it asks you things, you answer it, and yes, I already know how it works. Continue. A couple of things that students sometimes have issues with, as it's teleporting me because it's kicking me like right into this thing. Um, I skipped through a couple of things because I wanted to show you how to move with Labster. So if you hold still for a moment, you usually see an arrow show up. Anytime you see the arrow show up, that's probably where you should be going. So now the way you walk in Labster is you drag the screen. So it's more like a yeah. So you don't point where you're going, but you drag the screen. So grab your lab coat because we want to be safe. And see how it tells you to go where you're going. So drag the screen. There's your gloves. Grab those, and then you have choices. Um, so, um, but yeah, so this should hopefully get you going into the little world of Labster. So I'm going to see if I can get out of there. How do I get out of there? Escape. Ah, escape. Got me out of there. Okay. So then you've got the Labster materials, and then in this particular case, I have some optional materials for you. One of the assignments this week is for you to write up a an experiment, describe what you want somebody to do, and that's actually much more difficult than people think. And to kind of make light of this a little bit, I'm sharing the peanut butter and jelly exercise where you're asked to create a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and given exact instructions. And like I said, it's harder than you think. This video here is a fun little video. Why would you study ants? What can we learn from ants? And this is a TED talk that's really kind of interesting, um, to show you that ants can teach us things about brain, the cancer, about cancer, and about the internet. So these are just fun little things. If you know, if you have a little extra time, and that's it for a big, big picture kind of walk through the class, and a little more detail for the first assignment. Hopefully, this was helpful.